Welcome to today's Explainer. We're doing something super exciting today, basically summarizing the absolutely wild journey from a short one-off manga chapter to a literal billion-dollar empire. It is a story of accidental genius, obsessive fan demand, and, well, cardboard that is quite literally worth its weight in gold. So let's jump right in.
Just take a second and wrap your head around that number. $20 billion. That is not a typo. This franchise has generated $20 billion in revenue, which makes it a total anomaly in the entertainment industry. I mean, it's standing shoulder to shoulder with the heaviest hitters of global pop culture, think Star Wars or Harry Potter. But the crazy part? How it achieved this massive success completely breaks every single rule of traditional franchise building.
And this paradox really highlights what we're looking at today. During its original run from 1996 to 2004, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga sold around 40 million copies. Now, hey, that sounds impressive, right? But put that next to a heavyweight like One Piece at 400 million or Dragon Ball at 300 million. Despite having just a fraction of the actual book sales of those titans, Yu-Gi-Oh! Became an absolute financial juggernaut. Why? Because the real moneymaker wasn't the manga itself. It was the physical, collectible card game that it spawned into the real world.
Okay, here's our mission briefing for today. We're going to track the chronological evolution of this incredible butterfly effect. We'll start with 1, origin from a page. Look at 2, the billion-dollar boom. Track 3, evolution of eras. Examine 4, fortune in a card. And wrap up with 5, the fierce community.
Section 1, Origin from a Page, the chapter that started it all. So, Kazuki Takahashi had been writing manga since 1982 without a massive hit. Then, 1996 happens. When he first launched Yu-Gi-Oh!, it wasn't even about a card game at all. But in one single chapter, he introduced this fictional game called Magic and Wizards, obviously heavily inspired by Magic the Gathering. He had zero grand plans for it, but suddenly, the Shonen Jump office is just flooded with letters. Readers were begging for more of these specific card battles. The demand was so intense that Takahashi smartly pivoted the entire manga to focus on it. He tapped right into a brilliant psychological hook, the desire to possess something rare and tangible. Every conflict was now settled by slamming down physical cards, like the legendary Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Section 2, the billion-dollar boom, upgrading to a global phenomenon.
This timeline is just a wild roller coaster. To satisfy an incredibly rabid fan base, Konami launched the official card game in 1999. Fast forward to 2009, just 10 years later, and it hits a Guinness World Record, the best-selling trading card game in the world, with over 22 billion cards sold. But man, it had some serious growing pains. In 2004, certain cards broke the game so badly they had to invent the first forbidden list to literally ban them from competitive play. Then in 2008, Konami had to reclaim the entire Western license because they found out their own partner distributor was counterfeiting cards. No way, right? And more recently, they kept the game alive during a global pandemic by shifting the whole community to remote duels in 2020. This ecosystem just refuses to die.
Section 3, Evolution of Eras. Basically, patch notes for a physical game.
To keep millions of players hooked for over 2 decades, the physical cards themselves had to get technological upgrades. Think of it like software patch notes, but for cardboard. Step 1, Series 1, was just basic text mimicking the comic. But by Step 2, they're adding set codes for organization and sticking that holographic Eye of Anubis in the corner just to fight off the counterfeiters. Step 3 gave us the unified global layout we all recognize today. And then, things got a little out of hand. By Step 4, hitting Series 9, the game mechanics were so incredibly complex that they literally had to redesign the card template. They expanded the text boxes just to fit all the data needed for pendulum scales. The actual physical cardboard had to stretch to contain the game.
And it wasn't just bigger text boxes. The entire combat system got an overhaul. We completely moved away from slow tribute summoning. Boom. Series 6 brings in white synchro monsters. Series 7 drops black XYZ monsters. Then we got the super controversial pendulum monsters in Series 9, which basically handed out infinite card advantage. Finally, Series 10 introduced blue link monsters with actual directional arrows printed on them. These new mechanics completely rewired how you built a deck, pushing all the power to the extra deck and speeding up the game to this blazing breakneck pace.
Section 4, Fortune in a Card, the Secondary Market Economy.
Because let's be real, it's not just about playing the game. The secondary market economy that popped up around these pieces of cardboard is staggering. The rarest cards out there are literally worth more than luxury real estate. A Summon Demon promo card from the 2001 Asian Championship? That'll run you about 320 million Vietnamese dong.
A Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon awarded to the 2012 World Champ is valued at roughly around $500 million. But that top one, the Tournament Black Luster Soldier, that is in a completely different universe.
Seriously, can you even imagine owning a single trading card valued at an estimated 180 billion VND? It is truly legendary. This specific Black Luster Soldier was the grand prize for the 1999 Game Boy National Championship. There is only one of these in the entire world, and what makes it an absolute unicorn is that it's printed on pure stainless steel. It perfectly captures the psychological genius of this franchise, immense physical scarcity fueling a wildly powerful real-world economy.
Section 5. The Fierce Community, Bringing the Magic to Vietnam.
So how did this massive global Mako reactor of a franchise power the local community here? Let's trace that local impact because it actually had a very unique grassroots evolution from virtual screens right down to real-life tables. If you played games here in the early 2000s, you absolutely remember this vibe. Back then, kids were buying those super flashy, totally counterfeit Chinese card boxes sold right out front of middle school gates. Or you were grinding out virtual matches in local PlayStation cafes, treating it basically like a digital sports game. But look at the modern era. As board game cafes blew up, players got organized. They started investing real money in genuine physical cards, studying the hardcore global formats, and now they host highly competitive, organized real-life tournaments.
Actually, a local player named Vin, who's been in the scene since 2010, really hit the nail on the head. He said he stuck with it for the strategy, the thrill of head-to-head duels, and specifically the ability to mind-hack his opponents. I love that phrasing. It's that raw psychological warfare sitting face-to-face across a table that keeps this community thriving way beyond a digital screen.
Which brings us to the end of today's explainer, and I want to leave you with a thought. We live in an ultra-digital world, right? A world where even this game had to adapt to remote duels over webcams. But if a game, born completely by accident from a single manga page, can survive counterfeit lawsuits, massive rule overhauls, and a global pandemic to become a $20 billion empire, well, maybe there is a permanent magic to physical media. Can the infinite abundance of the digital realm ever truly replace the adrenaline rush of slamming a real piece of cardboard onto a table to win a duel? Think about it. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.